Thank you, Mr. President. Former President Clinton says that your administration had no meetings on bin Laden for 9 months after he left office. Is that factually accurate, and how do you respond to his charges?
You know, look, Karen, I've watched all this, finger pointing and, namings of names and all that stuff. Our objective is to secure the country. And we've had investigations. We had the 911 Commission. We had to look back this. We've had to look back that. American people need to know that we spend all our time doing everything we can to protect them. And I'm not going to comment on, other comments, but I will comment on this, that we're on the offense against an enemy who wants to do us harm. And we must have the tools necessary to protect our country. On the one hand, if Al-Qaeda or Al-Qaeda affiliates are calling somebody in the country, we need to know why. And so Congress needs to pass that piece of legislation. If somebody's got information about a potential attack, we need to be able to ask that person some questions. And so Congress has got to pass that piece of legislation. You can't protect America unless we give those people on the front lines of protecting this country the tools necessary to do so within the Constitution. And that's where the debate is here in the United States. There's some decent people who evidently don't believe we're at war, and therefore shouldn't give the administration what is necessary to protect us. And then it goes back to Jennifer's question, Does being on the offense mean we create terrorists? My judgment is the only way to defend the country is to stay on the offense. It is preposterous to think if we were to withdraw and hope for the best, things would turn out fine against this enemy. That was my point about, before we were in Iraq, there was thousands being trained in Afghanistan to strike America and other places. The only way to protect this country is to stay on the offense, is to deal with threats before they fully materialize, and in the long term help democracy succeed like Afghanistan and Iraq and Lebanon and a Palestinian state. But there's a difference of opinion. It'll come clear during this campaign. Well, people will say, get out, leave before the job is done. And those are good, decent, patriotic people who believe that way. I just happen to believe they're absolutely wrong. And so I'm going to continue to work to protect this country. We'll let history judge all the different, finger pointing and all that business. I don't have enough time to finger point. I've got to do my job, which comes home every day in the Oval Office, and that is to protect the American people from further attack. Now there's some who say, well, maybe it's not going to happen. Well, they don't see what I see. All I ask is that they look at that terror plot that, along with the Brits, we helped stop. People who are going to get on an airplane and blow up innocent lives in order to achieve political objectives. They're out there, they're mean, and they need to be brought to justice.